Yo, what's good, everybody? Welcome in to one more episode of the BeBall Jones podcast. If you don't know it, it's your first time watching. First off, I appreciate you for coming in and watching. Really means a lot. So, if you don't know, I am BeBall Jones, basketball trainer. A big fan of the game of basketball. My whole life kind of revolves around it. And this podcast has a very special guest today. This guy, his life basically revolves around basketball too. You feel me? Like, he does this for a living. Like, not too many people in this world can say that I get paid to play basketball. So this dude right here is a very good person, cool dude that I have the pleasure to meet, and it's very awesome to have him on this episode. Get a chance to interview him. So without further ado, that wasn't the best introduction, so I'm gonna let him do it better. But welcome in, Josh Sharkey.
Appreciate you having me, man. That was a very good introduction, man. I'm not gonna lie, I appreciate that. Kind words.
Like, bro, you get paid to play basketball, man. Like, come on now. Like,
bless, man. Bless for sure.
So tell the people about what you got going on, and more specifically about where you are, because that's special in itself.
Yeah. So right now I'm in Sweden, Södertälje, Sweden. It's about like 20-30 minutes outside of Stockholm. Been out here for like a month now. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now. This is my third year playing overseas. I played in Germany my rookie season in 2020-2021 season. Was in Poland last year for half of the year, and played a little bit of G League last year, and here now in Sweden.
So how's it feel to be a 3-year pro, man? How's that feel to like had on your belt?
I'm getting old, man. Time is flying. Time is flying, man. I remember I was, just back at Sanford a couple of years ago. So I mean, I'm getting a little bit more experience now. Year 3, I've been through the loops a little bit. So I mean, I'm blessed. I'm blessed to be here, man. It's a lot of people that don't even get to make it to this point. Some people, I know people have been done after their first year, second year. So I'm blessed to be able to still keep going, still playing.
So what does it mean to be in year 3? Like you said, some people said they played 1 year and it's done, but like to be 3 years in now, like how long do you see yourself doing it for, and like what does it mean to be 3 years in right now?
That's hopefully my body can keep up. I want to go to at least I'm 35 and plus. I think I have a lot of game left. So I'm like I said before, man, I'm blessed. I'm blessed to still be able to do something that I love, and like you said earlier, I'm getting paid to play basketball, man. Like I would do this for free. So that's a blessing in itself. But I look at it as like I get to travel the world, man, and see different places, and just get to experience these different countries and experience how different the culture is from how we live back in the States. So that's a blessing in itself. And I tell a lot of my guys back at home, like it's a lot of people, especially where I'm from Philadelphia, like it's a lot of people that don't get a chance to travel outside the city. And I've done that. Basketball has been great to me. I've done all the traveling around in the States, and now I'm blessed with the opportunity to do that, traveling overseas, and like I said, seeing these different countries and different cities over here. So I'm very, very grateful for that. So hopefully my body can withstand this, and I can keep going 10 plus years. Hopefully it's where I'm trying to go.
So what are some of the places that you've been able to visit and travel to?
So my first year I was in Germany, Tübingen, Germany. That's south of Berlin. That was amazing opportunity. I loved that. Last year I was in Poland, in Warsaw, Poland. That's the capital. Really, really great experience. Learned a lot there on and off the court. And then I actually played with 2 teams in Poland. So I was in Warsaw, and then I went to Lublin, which is a smaller city in Poland. And then now I'm in Södertälje. But I've been to Amsterdam. Been to, where else was I at? Can't remember the other place, but yeah, I've been to Amsterdam. That was a nice city. I got a chance to see that for like a day. I had a layover there, so I got a chance to see that a little bit. And I really like Stockholm. I've been over here since November the 7th, I think, and got a chance to go around the city a little bit in Stockholm, and really really big. It actually is kind of similar to a lot of cities in the states. I think it's like 2 million people in the city. It's a bunch
Mm.
of stuff to do, a bunch of different things to do. But really really interesting city to visit and tour.
So what has been like the biggest difference for you from, being over here in the States to overseas? So what's been like the biggest like culture shock that you experienced?
I would say trying to order my food
Mm,
and them was speaking different languages and stuff like that, and having sometimes to pull out the translator, and that I would say that's the that's the biggest culture shock. Everything else is kind of similar in its own way.
yeah,
I would say in Germany it was a little bit different. Like everything is more structured and more organized, and people are abiding by the rules and stuff like that. So I would say Germany was a little bit different from the states. Like they like just me driving on the street, like they have a speed light that every block almost. So it's just very structured, and I kind of feel like that's how things should be. Everybody just abide by their own, by the government's rules or whatever it is, and just very friendly over there. Uh, but yeah, I mean, other than that, I would just say that the language barrier, just trying to order food and
hmm
stuff like that. But everything else has been is kind of similar to the states.
So this might be, part of my ignorance if this is, a bad question, but how many, us's have you been able to see over there? You know,
it's a no, that's a good question. It's a few, but it's different. Like it's we when we come over here, we bring like a different vibe, different type of swagger to us. Over
yeah,
here is just kind of different. You got like you know people from like Africa, or like just even Swedish African Americans are just different in their own way. Not like it's a
yeah,
bad thing. They're just different. Like we just have a different type of swagger about us.
yeah.
But it's a few here. When I was in Germany, I really didn't see that much. I saw a little bit more in Poland as well. But it's quite a few here. A lot of them go to school out here too. So
Hmm.
um, I see quite a few of us out here.
I just want to know, man, because like you think of Germany, you don't think of us. You think
Not
of
at all.
Sweden, you don't think of us. Poland, like you don't think of us. So I'm just like, how many of us are out there? I'm not saying there are none, but
Mhm.
just the percentage base of
Yeah, I'm
what
not
we
gonna lie.
think
When
about.
I
So
was in Germany, I didn't see any of us except my teammates. I had like two two of my teammates were from the States, and that was that's the only African Americans I seen when I was over there. But
wow.
Poland was I was in a bigger city, and then now I'm here in Sweden, so it's more out here.
So is that a big change for you from growing up in Philly?
Yeah, in a way. But then again, I went to Sanford, and that's very diverse in its own. So,
Yeah.
um, you know,
So tell me about Philly, man, because y'all are a very interesting city within itself. So tell me about Philadelphia.
Philly is a very, very, very difficult place to make it out of.
Mm,
Um, and I feel like we kind of get a bad rep just because of all the extra, violence and just this crime in our city. We kind of get a bad rep on our name, but great city, man. It's a very like I want to say, hard nosed city.
mhm,
A lot of us get out the mud, and I feel like me coming and growing up in Philly has prepared me for anything I go through in my life. So you can make it out of Philly. I feel like you can make it anywhere in this world. Um, but the people there, if they love you, they love you. If they don't, you're gonna feel it for sure.
mm,
And I think we see that sometimes with like different, artists or sports athletes, stuff like that. We just, we see it now with Ben Simmons, and
yeah.
how he's been dealing with that. But if they love you, they love you. If they don't, they don't. But just growing up in that city, man, I feel like that's where I get my toughness from. And
Mm,
the way that I play on the court is, I'm a gritty guy, defensive minded guy. I like to get up in you and pressure the ball, stuff like that. And just a hard-nosed guy out there, and that just comes from me playing in the city, man. And like I said before, man, it just prepares you for anything that you go through in life.
Hmm. So what about the city relates to your game besides just the toughness? Because like more basketball wise, because they say how Cali dudes, they kind of got like a smoother game and they're
Mhm.
more finesse. And in New York, you got the grittiness to it. Down
Yeah.
south, we got the athletes. So like, what about Philly is more distinct for you in your game?
I really think it's my toughness, man. Like me growing up, I played outside in the parks. Like a lot
Mm,
of these, like this new generation, man, I don't want to say they bougie, but if it's not inside the gym and a nice hardwood floor, they don't want to hoop. Man, I
mm,
grew up on the concrete, man, playing every day. Um, you know, Playing in the hood and in the trenches, man. Like I said, that prepares me for anything I go through. So like when I was at Sanford, we played against Tennessee, and they were number one in the country. They had like Grant Williams, Jordan Boone, Schofield, and all them. And I'm talking about that. It's loud in there, man. I'm having a conversation with my teammate. I can't even hear what he's saying. Like that's how loud it is. But it's like I think back to me playing at we got this gym. It's called Hank Gather's gym down in North Philly, 25th and Diamond, and t- talking about like we got it's guys standing underneath the court like, yo, you know what I'm saying, you make this free throw, we're gonna have to see you after the game. Like it's treacherous in there. So I
that's
feel like that
crazy.
prepared me like when I go to these big arenas and these different places, like I'm not scared. I'm fearless out there on the court. I think that's just a testament to the city and how we came up.
So you really have to deal with like what's that movie Above the Rim type stuff where it's like
It's That's real. Like it really get like
that's
that.
wow.
It really get like that for real.
Dang. So you had that person having to you?
For sure. Couple times. Couple times.
Word.
Yeah.
Can you break down a situation without, getting too deep into it? I don't know how the legality of
Um.
it is.
Yeah. Just the example I gave you, man. I'm shooting a free throw. It's crunch time, and we were actually playing against one of my best friends, Tony Carr. I'm probably like, I want to say 10. I probably was like 10 or 11. It was this tight game. I'm shooting a free throw at the end, and it's packed gym, and it's a small gym, but
Mhm.
it's standing room only in there. Like guys talking trash the whole game. So it comes down to crunch time at the free throw line. He's like, "Yo, you missed this free throw. I'm 11 years old. If you miss this free throw, we're going to see you after the game." Like I'm like, damn, like you know what I'm saying? It's crazy. I'm 11 years old. Like what you mean by that? Like, but what I'm saying, I end up making the free throw, or whatever. We won the game, and nothing happened, obviously, because my folks was there too. But it's just, I mean, that happens often in the city. No matter where you playing in North Philly, South Philly. It happens all over the city, man. But I feel like that's why we just have so much toughness and grit to us,
Mm,
and we built different.
mm. That's wild, bro. Like I can't even like at 10, like 10, 11 years old being like,
They don't care, man. They don't care. It's crazy.
that's wild, bro. Um, yeah, I can't even like picture myself going through that, bro. Like, but like you said, that's what makes you guys who you are.
No
Because
doubt.
you, I don't say you almost numb to it, but it's like that's kind of what happens.
Mhm.
So it's like, how did you kind of deal with that and get through that? Like I know it's kind of like I just said, it's kind of like what you kind of have to deal with and you go through. But how did you like come to grips with like, okay, if I want to hoop, if this is what I want to do, I have to figure out how to maneuver through this. So how did you personally like maneuver through that whole situation for you?
Um, I mean, I just personally think that that specific situation just like I feel like I in that moment right there, I grew tremendously, and after that, it was like I don't even feel pressure. So
Mm,
you know, to fast forward my high school career or college career is like when I'm say I'm at the free throw line now and we down by one or it's a tie game and I got to make these free throws. Like I don't even feel pressure now. I'm just I'm saying go through my routine. I'm knocking it down. Um, and I feel like that is in the back of my mind at the same time. It's like, okay, I remember when I was at Hank shooting these free throws. I remember when I was at 10th Street, 10th and Nolly outside the park in this standing room only at the park, and I'm getting heckled. So
mm,
I mean that's always in the back of my mind, but I feel like that prepared me for um the things that I went through in my career.
So you feel like all of that built up to another level of mental toughness, not just the physicality of like you said, I like to get up under my, opponent and just be physical, but like mentally it built you a whole different layer to when somebody talking trash to you, that's like, oh, okay, that's cute. But like,
100%.
so mentally you
100%.
just built like a whole nother beast.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. You hit it right in the nose.
Mm. That's kind of my job, bro. You feel me? Like, I do a little something with that. Yeah, man. What else can you tell me about Philly? Because I've never been there. I just, the small stuff that I heard about from the news, and like you said, lately with the Ben Simmons situation, like. So tell me about Philadelphia, man. Because when we were growing up, it was all about AI and Donovan McNabb, T.O.
Yep.
era. That's kind of what we got from Philly, man. So
Yeah.
tell me about Philadelphia, bro.
Man, I'm not gonna lie. AI is the reason why I started hooping. Like,
Mm.
me being a young age and just the impact that he had on the city. Man, I'm going to every game watching him perform. Then it's like, I'm a small guard myself, so to see him
Mm-hmm.
5'11", 6 foot out there doing what he was doing, man, it's so much inspiration and motivation for me to um just to believe that I could do what he's doing. But like you said, like AI, McNabb, we had a couple legends that came through the city and just gave everybody hope, man. And like I was speaking on earlier, like when the city loves you, man, they love you. Like to this day, AI can come to the city anytime he wants, and he's gonna get that same love he got when he was playing. Just the impact he had on the city, like and the way that he played was kind of like you know how we live our everyday life. Like I was talking about earlier, that grit and that toughness. Like he's going every day, every night out there and giving it his all at 6 foot 5'11", going against guys that's 10 inches taller than him, 6 inches taller than him, whatever it is. But
Mm-hmm.
I feel like AI was really the first like role model that I had basketball wise to just give me some type of hope and belief in myself that I can really do this, and I can get paid playing basketball. Another guy that is one of my role models is actually one of my family members, Jameer Nelson. Went to college at St. Joe's. Played 10 years with the Magic, played a couple years with the Celtics and Denver Nuggets and Dallas Mavericks. But um, I was lucky because I got to see what it really means to be a professional every day. I want to say like towards and it's crazy. When I was little, I used to beg him like, "Yo, can I come to the gym with you? Can I come to the gym?" He's like, "No, you're not ready. You're not ready. Like, just stay patient." So I think we finally started working out like my senior year of high school, and I thought I knew what it meant to work hard, but that dude is like he is a different animal, man. He waking up at 5 a.m. and getting after it, man. He getting like 3-4 workouts a day, and mind you, he's got his family back home to come to, so he's doing all that, and then coming home and being with the kids, being with his wife, and just to see how he went about his day, man. It was just I got so much inspiration from that itself. But we really started like turning it up once I got to college. When I went back to Philly in the summertime, I would stay with him at his house. It'd be me, my little cousin Jameer Nelson Jr., who's at University of Delaware right now. And we getting up at 5 a.m. going to strength and conditioning workout, knocking that out, going to the gym, basketball gym. Be done that by like 8 o'clock, right? So then we go back, chill for a little bit, get some food, refresh a little bit. Got a boxing workout, knock that out. Might do like some hot yoga or something like that, or a little cycling class that we would go to out there. Then sometimes we going back at nighttime getting more shots up. So that's just somebody that I've always looked up to since I was little. And he's another small guard that really paved the way for a lot of guys after himself. But just to see how hard he worked, man, like he's a true professional. And once I really started working out with him, I really I feel like I really understood what it means to work hard and to really want it. So that's just something that he always told me, like you gotta outwork your opponent. Like we already at a disadvantage being undersized, but you can't let anybody outwork you, man. That's something that I've always kept with me. So after every season's over, I do take my little breaks every here and there, and But when it's time to lock in, I really lock in and grind, man. Like, and I feel like that translates to the game. Like you work all summer, so when it's time for that training camp or that preseason, you're not behind. You're actually ahead of the game. So give yourself kind of a little advantage there. But AI and Jameer for sure are my two biggest role models, basketball wise, sure.
Wait, wait, hold on. Time out. Hold on real quick. I just got a quick question for you. All right, okay, look. So where did you go? Like, what are you going after right now in your life? Right? Are you looking to make the team? Okay, you didn't make the team, but you're looking to figure out how to make the team coming up. Or maybe you made the team, but you're right on the bench, you're not playing like you want to. Or maybe you're playing a little bit like you want to, but you're not a starter, or you're not finishing the games like you want to. Or maybe you're the player, but you're just not quite where you want to be as far as recognizing your county or maybe your conference or your state, whatever you're trying to be recognized at. Um, Whatever your goal is, I want you to forget about that. Like put it on the board or something, write it down in your phone and just put it somewhere and tuck it away. I want you to take that goal, throw it over there, and now I want you to write a new one, right? I want you to write PROGRESS. Progress. I want you to make progress your goal. Okay, so take that big goal that you have now and take it, put it in your back pocket, and just figure out how to make progress and work towards that goal. Because sometimes we get so caught up on the goal of the end goal where we want to be that we don't keep working forward and working towards that goal like we should be. So every day I want you to wake up and figure out how to just make progress. How can I be better today than I was yesterday? It's new tomorrow. The same exact thing. Figure out how can I be better today than I was yesterday. It doesn't matter how good you are or what you did yesterday. It's irrelevant. It doesn't matter. Your goal today is to make progress, be better than you was yesterday. And so if you need a reminder about that, all I want you to do is to have a reminder. I want you to go ahead and get one of these hoodies. Or you get you a t-shirt. I got a couple options for you. So get you a hoodie or a t-shirt just to remind yourself, just to keep it as a memento to be like, man, today's goal is to make progress. My only goal is to make progress. Progress is the only goal. So if that fits you and you feel like you need to make progress to be your goal, go ahead and hit the link in the description below and invest into yourself, invest into that reminder. Treat it like an alarm clock to remind you that you need to make progress. Make sure that you're focused and being intentional about the work that you have today. So progress is the only goal. Hit the description below to invest into yourself. It's not about me. Investing into yourself to remind yourself that progress is my goal for today. So that's enough for me, man. I hope I didn't interrupt you. Get back to the episode. I did not know you and Jameer were cousins. That's crazy.
Yep, yep. His dad, and my mom's dad were brothers. So that's my second cousin.
That's dope. So
Yeah.
what was like the biggest difference from you started working with him with your senior year? So what was the biggest difference before and after? Like before your workout was like X, Y, and Z. Once you got with him, you was like, oh, this is what it really takes. So what was like the difference from before and after?
Just how organized everything was. Like, sometimes you go in the gym and you think you're working hard and you just, doing moves. And like when I was with him, everything was organized, everything was structured, and it was actually stuff that I really needed. It was simple stuff, but it was stuff that I actually needed in the game to help me succeed. You don't need all them dribble moves. I didn't really need to do all that. It was just simple, like one dribble pull-ups, catch and shoot stuff. You know, doing different conditioning drills, shooting drills, stuff like that, and just how he took care of his body. I mean, he played 15, 16 years in the league. That's just a testament of him, his work, and how he took care of his body over time. So I would say the biggest difference was just how organized everything was and how he broke my game down. And I feel like once we did that, that's when my game just elevated tremendously. Especially like from my sophomore year in college to my junior year. That summer was probably the best summer I ever had, just working out, and the way my body looked, the way my body felt, my confidence level was high. Just every day, getting reps and every day, seeing the ball going every day, like that builds confidence in itself. So I would say the biggest difference was just the organization and the workouts.
Hmm. So you also said how like you thought you worked hard. So was it like just more intensity to the workouts, or was it more of like the number of workouts in a day? Like, what was the difference from
I would say
out you
both.
working hard to now?
I would say both really. Before I worked out with him, I would probably be in the gym for like 3 hours out of the day, and I would be done. And I feel like I got my work in. But with him, it's like, all right, we gonna go lift and do some conditioning for hour 30, hour 40. Then we're gonna go shoot for an hour, hour and a half. We gonna rest. We might do a boxing workout. We might do a pool workout for like an hour, 45 minutes to an hour. Rest again. You know, he's the first person that got me into the cold tub. Man, I hate the cold tub, but he forced me to get in that thing. He's like, yo, you gotta take care of your body, man. Like, he taught me that at a young age. So getting in the cold tub, getting treatment, we did some cryotherapy, just just making sure you're getting that treatment, and then rest and make sure you're putting the proper food and stuff inside your body. You can't just be out here just eating, junk food and bad food, stuff like that. You gotta, put good stuff in your body so you can perform well. And then, we're going back at night and getting more shots up. So just I would say the intensity level, the organization, and the number of workouts for sure was the biggest change for me. But I also feel like that's why I had the career I did have.
Mm.
My junior and senior year at Sanford, which is because of the work I put in. When I'm out there, I felt confident. I didn't feel hesitant. I think my first 2 years at Sanford, I really struggled shooting the three ball. Didn't really have a lot of confidence. I would second guess myself. I'd be wide open and pass up open shots, stuff like that. So, and another thing that he helped me do was break down film. Watching more film, actually watch myself, because it'd be times that I'd be open. I don't even know I'm open out there in the game, but now I go back and look at it. It's like, oh, well, I probably should have took that shot. So now I come back my junior and senior year, confidence through the roof. Like I'm shooting and not even thinking twice about it. But that just comes from all the work we put in the off season.
So I want to get back to that too. Hopefully I don't forget. But you
Mhm.
said how he said that you weren't ready to work with him yet.
Yeah.
So what was like that? Okay, now you're ready. Was it just the time to be a senior, or was it like kind of being his qualifications? So like, what was the barrier you had to cross to be like,
You
all
know
right,
what's
you ready?
crazy? I don't even know. I might have to. I never asked him that. I might have to ask him that, but I don't even know, because I always thought I was ready.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it was like mentally. Maybe he didn't think I was mentally strong, and I don't know. I don't know. What I gotta ask him that question? But I mean, he could have been right. He could have been right for sure. I don't know. That's something I gotta ask him.
That's interesting because I've heard that story before from other people. Where it's like you got a cousin or a big brother or maybe a
Mhm.
dad or something who's like a trainer or whatever, and it's like, come on, man, let me work with you. But it's like, nah, you ain't ready yet. So I've
Yeah.
always been kind of curious of like what that thing is for different people. Sometimes it's just age. If like, no, nah, I don't want you doing this until this age, or
Hmm.
maybe you don't have the heart for it. You want to do it because I'm doing it, but you really want it. So it's like I was just curious of what that was for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what do you feel like? Do you feel like that made you work harder to be able to like earn working with him, or like what did that do for you?
You saying what working out with him?
Yeah.
Um, I mean, it's like I'm working out with an NBA player. Like, what I'm saying, he's where I'm trying to get to. So, I'm soaking. I was like a sponge, man. Like I was just soaking everything in. Just watching his every move, man. It's just like when I tell you, like, he a true professional. Like I don't use that term like for like anything. Like he's a true professional. I got to see that every day. So I was just trying to soak it all in, man. And any advice that he gave me, I was just listening and trying to imply that into my workouts and into my game. Um, but I really think that just uplifted my confidence like through the roof. Just being able
Mm.
to be on the court with him, and we play some one on ones and stuff like that. So just to see that I can stand it with him, like, what I'm saying, that's going to give anybody the confidence in the world.
Yeah.
Um,
Did you
so
ever get him?
he never got me.
Word.
He never got me. So
Okay.
he
Okay.
never got me. But yeah, man, I would say just it just helped my confidence level tremendously for sure.
I wish I had connection to be like, hey, Jameer, what was the ones like? I gotta
The ones was competitive. I'm not gonna lie, they was competitive. Like my little cousin Jameer Jr.,
yeah.
like super athletic, tight handle, can shoot it. Like our ones used to be crazy. We actually had we used to work out with Isaiah Wong, who's at University of Miami right now, one of the
Mhm.
top players in the ACC. So he was there a couple of times, and the ones is crazy, man. I'm not gonna lie.
All right, man. I'm gonna take your word for it, saying you got them. So
I
I
wouldn't lie
can't
to you, bro.
go against it. So I'm gonna let you have that one, man.
I wouldn't lie to you.
So from Philadelphia to Alabama, why and how?
Why? I wanted something different. I've been in Philly my whole life. I've been up north my whole life. I wanted to experience something different, and going to Alabama was a complete talk about culture shock. Complete culture shock for me. City kid, man, coming down there to the south. But I mean, that was my biggest thing. Like, I was kind of, I wouldn't say I was a late bloomer, but as far as like recruiting wise, I had a bunch of schools show interest. I had like
Mhm.
Mississippi States. I had a couple SEC schools. I had a couple A10 schools, and other different conferences and stuff like that. But Sanford was the first school to offer me a scholarship. My junior year, we were at a basketball tournament called City of Palms. I went to a school called Archbishop Carroll. It's a little bit outside of Philly in Radnor, PA. Played with Derrick Jones, who plays with the Bulls now. Derrick Jones, another guy, Ryan Daly, that had a really good college career. Um, and we had a really good team, and we were ranked at one point. We were eighth in the country, um, national schedule, and we went to the City of Palms tournament in where's that at? Somewhere in Florida. I want to say Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Mhm.
Um, and Coach Jake Hedrick was there, and basically fell in love with me after my first game down there. And I just felt like it was right. And that summer they brought me down. I was the first guy ever to have an official visit as a junior in high school. And when I went down there, man, it just felt like home. Like I just fell in love with it from day one. The older guys on the team just welcomed me in. It made me really feel like I was a part of the family. And I wasn't even, what I'm saying, enrolled yet. So build that relationship with him and Scott Paget and Nudie, Charles Newton. And them guys were on me since day one. And it was, constant communication. They were just, checking in. The guys flew to Philly and came to see me at my home and met my family and my friends and stuff like that. I actually had Nudie come to the hood, like come to the park. He came to the park one time, man. Like it was just love, man, since day one. Um, and I actually committed early. I committed. I played AAU with team final EYBO team, and I committed right before Peace Jam, and went to Peace Jam and killed it. Had a great Peace Jam. We went to Vegas, had a great Vegas tournament out there, and I had some schools that was trying to reach out and recruit me now. Um, but I was committed, and I wasn't trying to decommit or anything like that. I was trying to be loyal to them because they were loyal to me since day one.
Mhm.
Um, so I would say that's my why. Just that relationship that we built, and just how they just welcomed me in since day one. And I really feel like I was a part of the family, and just I really fell in love with all the guys on the team, man. Like CC, Christian Cunningham, who's now a coach at Rhode Island. Eric Adams, who you just recently interviewed, and all those guys, man. They just really welcomed me in. I really felt like we built a brotherhood, man. I still talk to them guys to this day.
Yeah, that's dope, man. You said you were a late bloomer. So like when did you start getting offers really?
Um, so it's just crazy. So UPenn actually offered me my the beginning of my junior year, but with the Ivy League schools, they don't offer athletic scholarships. They offer you academic scholarships, and my grades wasn't good enough to to go to Ivy League school, man. So, that was kind of out the window. And then I would say like mid-season of my junior year, that's when Stanford offered me at that City of Palms tournament. And after that, I had like a bunch of interests. Like I said, from like Mississippi State, University of Dayton, LaSalle, James Madison. Uh, I can't remember off the top, but I had a lot of interest. And they were scared to pull that trigger on me, I guess, because of my size or
Mhm.
I don't know what it was. But Sanford was really the first school to send me an athletic scholarship. And I really took that personal, because I really felt personally, I felt like I was better than a lot of these guys that would, getting the offers ahead of me, and getting all the attention and stuff like that. But my mama always just tell me like you can't compare your situation to somebody else's. Like everything happens for a reason. So I really took all that stuff personal, man. I feel like that was like kind of adding more fuel to the fire. So I'm just working 10 times harder now. Like that's in the back of my mind in my workouts. Okay, they ain't want to offer me now. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna show them now. So I felt like when I got to Sanford, I proved that I could play at a high level.
So, what made you not consider Mississippi State? Because that's a big time, D1 SEC school. So,
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
what made you not want to hold out on them a little bit, or just wait on another offer? Because if Mississippi State wanted you, there's another chance another school wanted you. So, what made you
Yeah,
commit to Sanford like so strongly?
I'm not gonna lie, bro. Like it was the one foot in, one foot out. Like they didn't pull the trigger. That's what it
Mhm.
really comes down to. They didn't offer me. Like we having all these conversations. You guys are seeing me play. I'm killing every chance that they were there. I'm killing. I'm playing one of my probably my best game. Um, and just to not have them offer is like, okay, what else do I have to show y'all? Like I'm proving that
Mhm.
I can play at this level. I'm playing EYBL is the best AAU league out there. And I'm
Yeah.
going, I'm killing. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, what else do I have to prove to y'all for y'all to pull that trigger? So I just felt like Sanford was the first school to like, they saw me the first time they saw me, they pulled the trigger right away. Like they knew they wanted me. They did everything in their power to get me to that school. So, I just felt like I owed it to them to honor that offer that they gave me and go down there and, you know, give it my all and prove to everybody that I can play at this level and I can be dominant and an elite player. So I feel like because like I said earlier, like after that Peace Jam tournament and after the Fab 48 tournament in Vegas, like I had NC State was reaching out, Mississippi State was starting to apply a little bit more pressure. Miami actually reached out. Like all these schools are starting to reach out, but it's like
Mhm.
I don't want that now. Like y'all, it's cool. It's cool. I'm gonna go to the guys that really want me. Like you know what I'm saying. So and it's so crazy. So after my freshman year, the whole staff at Mississippi State got fired. So that would have been a
Mm.
whole different like issue in itself. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I feel like I said, everything happens for a reason, and I feel like Stanford was the best move that I made in my life. And then it was times that I could have left and transferred. Like my first 2 years at Stanford, I wasn't really playing as much as I like. Actually, I'm my sophomore year, I didn't play as much as I like. We had Justin Coleman come in, and
Mm.
we had a lot of guards in front of me, a lot of older, experienced guys, and I didn't really play as much as I would have liked to. And I had the chance to leave and go to Penn State. Had a chance to go to these different other schools, and I didn't. I just stuck it out and just kept working. And it's just turned out so crazy that after my sophomore year, everybody transferred and left. So it was
Mm.
only I was the only option almost. So it was like, okay, like let's get it now. I'm ready to work. So like I said, man, everything happens for a reason. And I feel like just how I was brought up and not, how I grew up just prepared me for so much in my life. Like it's going to be times where you hit adversity. Like you're not going to have great days every day. It's going to be bad times. Like you got to just keep pushing through. That's why I try to tell a lot of these young guys that's coming up in the city now, or any young guys that I'm around. I try to encourage them to, like, never give up, to just keep pushing through. Even like fast forward to my professional career, like this past season was probably the most worst year I've ever had in my life. Just
Mm,
had so much personal stuff going on. Basketball wasn't great. And then I'm not gonna lie, it was times where I thought about giving it up, thought about quitting, thought about retiring, and maybe getting into coaching, maybe getting into personal player development, stuff like that. But that's why you got to have good people around you, and people that have your best interests around you. My best friend Tony Carr is like, "You crazy, man? Like, you got so much more game to give." Like, my mom was telling me, like, "Or you crazy? Like, you still got a lot of game left."
mm,
So that's why it's important to have those good people around you that just going to tell you the real at the same time, but it's going to tell you like the things that you need to hear. And you know, me going, I left Poland in December, came to the G League, signed with the Sixers G League, played one game, got COVID,
mm.
was out for a month, like lost all the muscle. My body had no energy for like, I didn't leave my room for like a month, dude. Like, the COVID messed me up. So I got cut. Um, I got the chance to be a part of the Birmingham squadron team, the Pelicans G League team. Brought me in as a practice player, um, and I'm going into it thinking like, yeah, I'm gonna kill a couple of practices, and they're gonna sign me, and you know it's gonna work out. So I'm in practice, I'm giving it my all, I'm getting to the gym early, working out, getting shots up before practice, staying after practice, getting shots up, and it didn't happen how I thought it was going to happen. And basically, they signed me towards the end of the season, like 2 weeks left in the season, but I was there probably for like a month and a half or almost 2 months, and as a practice player. But the reason why they kept me around wasn't because of my play, because I was killing in practice. I played good in practice, but they said it was because of my character. Like, they like having me around. They liked who I was as a person. They liked how hard I worked. They liked how I got to the gym early and got my work in. I stayed after and got extra shots up. They liked how I was a great teammate. Um, so character goes a long way. So it didn't turn out how I thought it would, but then like I learned so much just from being around all those guys. Like, those are high level guys like that. The head coach is now assistant coach on the New Orleans Pelicans staff. I just learned so much from this past season, man, and all that just to say, like, you're going to go through adversity in life. Like, that's life. Not everything's going to be perfect, but they just push through it. And like, it's got to have that tunnel vision, man, and just have faith that everything's going to work out.
From your sophomore year in college to last year dealing with COVID and the whole situation, all of that, that kind of goes back to what you were saying about growing up in Philly, not just the physical toughness, but the mental toughness.
All right.
So like, what made you like? I'm curious to like what made you want to stick with it through both of those situations, because like you said, you could have transferred and had different options to leave Sanford, or you could have quit hooping, or you could have did something else with basketball, or whatever. What made you want to stick with it? Because it's not necessarily, I wouldn't say it's mentally weak to quit,
Mm-hmm.
but it's just you could have been a better option for you. So what happened for you to be like, nah, I'm gonna stick with it. I'm gonna figure it out anyway.
I hit rock bottom, man. I really had to dig deep. Like, I had to look myself in the mirror and change how I was living, and um, just reevaluate myself. Um, so I would say that was, especially this past season. Like, I had to really dig deep, man, and figure out, is this what I really want to do? Like, I had to ask myself these questions, um, and I had to understand that it's okay to hit rock bottom. Like, it's, what I'm saying. Like I said earlier, like, everything's not going to be perfect. You're going to have times where you go through these rough periods in your life, but I had to dig deep, man, and really decide what I wanted to do with my life. And I love this game, and I wasn't ready to just give it up just because I went through a little adversity. So I had to dig deep, man. Just kept working, stayed patient, and I feel like it turned out great. Now I'm in a great situation here in Sweden, um, with a really good club, and I have the chance to just keep elevating in my career. So the ball's in my hands now. So um, that's what I would say. I just had to dig deep, man. Look myself in the mirror and just change how I was living, man. Um, and like I said earlier, having those good people around you, having a good support system, like all that stuff plays into a role into it too.
Mm. So I'm really curious about like the sophomore year because with I know it wasn't as free when you was in college, but the
Mm,
transfer thing is big time now. Like you can
mm,
because they had the rules back then where if you transfer, you had to sit out or whatever. So
yep,
just it was sophomore year, so you still would have had another year to play.
two
So
years.
well, yeah, 2 year. So what what happened mentally for you to be like because you said like you said freshman year playing, sophomore year not playing. How
Hmm.
was that for you, and how did you like stick through it to like okay, next thing you know, junior year, boom, Shark, does his thing.
It was tough, man. I'm not gonna lie. Like I had a really good freshman year. Was made the all freshman team, broke some records, and to go from that to all right, Shark, like you're not gonna play. You playing 15 and 20 minutes a game now. I just went from playing 25 to 30.
Mm,
That was tough, and it's like I felt like I I could have had an impact out there on the court. Um, but like I said, like those guys were more experienced, and they were great players. I'm not saying that to take anything away from them. Like they were,
yeah.
really really good players. But I felt like I could have, helped us out a little bit more. So that was tough, just mentally dealing with that. Um, but that goes back to what I was saying about that support system. Now I'm talking to my mom, talking to Jameer about the things that I'm going through, and they're giving me good advice. They're keeping it real with me at the same time too. Um, but that was tough. But honestly, like it just made me work even more harder. Like I told you, that summer after my sophomore year, that summer was the best summer I ever had in my life. Like
Mm,
just the way my body felt, the way my body looked, my confidence, my mental, like everything was just through the roof. And I feel like I said, that just to go back to like always being on the look when I was in high school and stuff like that. Like all that stuff just adds fuel to the fire. So I took it as a challenge. I didn't want to take the easy route out and go and transfer, and um, I wanted to really take on the challenge, and I'm glad I did because it turned out in my favor.
mm. So for somebody who's in that similar situation, how would you kind of coach them through it? How you coach yourself, or what did they tell you, or what did you tell yourself to kind of like get through the situation? How would you tell somebody else to be like, I know you feel like you should be playing, and especially in your situation from freshman year playing 25, 30 minutes to basically half of that. So how would you kind of like coach somebody else that's dealing with, a drop off? You feel like I feel like I should be playing, but I'm not playing.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, everybody's situation is different, but I would just tell them like just to push through, bro. Like what I'm saying, it's all gonna work out in the end. Like as long as you're doing what you're supposed to do and controlling what you can control, which is your attitude, your mental, your energy, your effort, how hard you're working. Because a lot of guys say they want it, but don't really want to put the work in.
Mm,
So you know, that would be my advice. Like just fight through, like push through. How bad do you want it?
mm,
Um, you got to work for it, and there's nothing in life free, and nothing gonna be giving it to you. They're not going to give it to you just because you feel some type of way. Like, you got to work for it. You got to go out there and show them and prove it that you're supposed to be out there on the floor. So that would be my advice to them.
mm. It's quality advice, man, because
Appreciate it.
for that to happen to basically the end of your career, you did some things while
Yeah.
while you were in college, man. So broke a couple records,
Yep.
did a couple things. So talk about that, man. Like basically like kind of summarize your career at Sanford, man. What talk your
I
stuff right here, bro. Talk your
don't
stuff.
want to toot my own horn, but
No, talk your stuff. But this is not the B-Ball Jones episode. This is the Josh Shark episode, bro. So
love,
talk your
love.
stuff, man.
I got you. So I'm the all-time assist leader at Sanford, all-time steals leader, all-time single season a leader in assists and steals, fifth all-time in scoring. Think I might be one or two in wins. I think I might be two. second all time in the Southern Conference in assists. So like, I know I broke a couple of records. I think the most assists I had in the game was like 16, 17. Um, so I did some things. But I mean, that is not just me. Like that comes from the great teammates that I had,
Mhm.
um, the coaches that I had that put me in the situation to succeed. Um, so I anybody that I give all the credit to my teammates because they the ones making the shots. They the ones that I'm just passing the ball. They putting in the ball in the hoop really. But yeah, I did some things. Had a pretty solid career towards the end.
Didn't you lead the nation in assists at one point? I don't know. I don't remember which year it
Yeah,
was. It was a
yeah.
junior, senior year.
My senior year, I led the country in assists and steals at the same time for like 2 to 3 months, I think, something like that. And I end up being third all time. No, not all time. Third in the nation in assists my junior year, and I was fourth in the nation my senior year, and I was like fifth, I think, in the nation in steals.
Hmm.
Um,
So yeah, it's. I wanted to get that out there. One for you to talk your stuff, man. Like I be having folks come in here, they be all humble and stuff. I'm like, man, y'all
yeah.
talk y'all stuff, bro. Like I'm giving you guys an opportunity to talk your stuff, so I kind of force you into it.
I don't
I'm
like to
glad you.
talk about it, bro. I really don't, but
I'm glad you took the bait though. I baited you into it, so
you
it's you
did.
can blame
I
me.
took
You
it.
can
I
blame me.
took it.
But nah, it's important that they get both sides of it. So you talked about how you struggled and dealt with not playing as much and feeling like you were slept on, under recruited to now breaking records in college and doing things nationally, not just at your school, not just at a D1 school, but nationally known.
Right,
So like I wanted to show both halves of that because somebody's dealing with a similar situation where it's like, man, I'm not playing like I wanted to. I'm not getting
right,
recruited like I wanted to. Well, you can still end up in a pretty good situation.
for sure, for
Example A
sure,
Sharp. So
for
I just
sure.
need to show both halves of that, man. So
Appreciate that, man. And like my biggest thing was like, I just wanted to show everybody that I could play at this level. Like to go back what I
mhm,
was saying about being overlooked and stuff like that and under recruited. Like I just wanted to prove to everybody that I can be that elite player. I can be dominant, and I can have a lot of success at this level. I feel like I proved that.
oh yeah, you did for sure. Um,
Appreciate that.
like too many records. It's like it's the stat speaks for itself, man.
No, for
Like
sure.
so for you to I won't say you guys are like point guard university, but y'all had like point guard after point guard after
I'm
point guard.
telling
It
you,
was
I'm
like
telling
you
you.
said, CC, J. Cole,
But
you.
that's another reason why I feel like I got better. Like hooping against them every day, bro. Like it was crazy. They had because they left Sanford. I think CC went to Louisville. J
Yep,
Cole went to Arizona after. So
yep,
they are high level. You know what I'm saying? Point guard. So just
yep.
hooping against them every day. Just I'm getting better doing that, man. Like,
So
it's a blessing and a curse.
I'm glad you said that. So you see both of those guys go to bigger D1 schools.
Mm.
Did that ever entice you to be like, man, let me see what I could do, at a bigger or a different level, or you just like, nah, I'm good.
I did for sure. And almost I'm not gonna lie, almost did it. One of my best friends was at Penn State, Lamar Stevens, who's with the Cavs right now. And they were trying to get me over there and I almost did it. Then, I'm having these conversations with Jameer and my mom. They're like, why go somewhere where you're gonna play 15, 20, 25 minutes and leave somewhere that you're playing 35 plus a night and you the man.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? You
Yeah.
you got the keys to the car. That don't make any sense to do that. So I kind of like, yeah, y'all right. And I do like playing 30 minutes a game. I do like
Yeah.
being out there on the floor. So ultimately that's what it came down to. Um, just the playing time and
Mhm.
the opportunity to showcase my skills.
Mhm. I respect that, man. Um, how close were you to getting drafted? Like, what was the draft NBA opportunity for you like?
Man, so my senior year, I'm thinking that I don't want to say drafted, but I'm thinking I have a good chance to get picked up by one of the teams.
Yeah.
So crazy. The Warriors actually came to 4 or 5 of my games to see me play. Kings came to a few of my games. The Heat came to a couple, and the Hawks. And I signed with my agent. right after the season was over, and he's telling me, yeah, the teams are really interested. They want to bring you in on workouts, pre-draft workouts, stuff like that. Then boom, COVID hits. The whole world shut down. So that happens. We go months of not going knowing what's going to happen. Is there even going to be an NBA season or anything like that? And I'm not gonna lie, I started to panic. Like I didn't know what to do. I was just trying to get a job. So I actually took a job early. I want to say when I took it in like September. I signed to go over in Germany in September. And if I would have waited, who knows what happens? I could have, been brought in for a couple of workouts, stuff like that. But I feel like this COVID just messed everything up, bro. Like I just had so much momentum, towards the end of that season. I was playing, some of my best basketball, and these teams were coming to see me play. And actually had a Warrior scout reach out to one of my people that I know, and they were interested. They wanted to bring me in a couple of workouts. And then once COVID happened, and just everything just died down, man, and kind of lost that momentum. And especially coming from a smaller school like Sanford, it's a little bit harder to be seen. But if I would have waited, maybe it would have happened. Still could happen in the future. You never know. But I feel like just COVID just messed everything up.
And what year did you graduate?
2020.
So you graduated and that's wild. That
Yep.
sucks.
Yep. I'm on spring break in what's this, April. And literally we see on our phones, we get the notification like everything's locked down, school's gonna be online from now on. Like it was crazy, bro.
Dang.
Yep.
So did you even get to finish the season?
Yeah, we just had finished. We just had finished the conference tournament. We lost in the first round, I think.
Mm.
So we were done. But yeah,
Dang. That sucks,
crazy,
bro.
crazy, bro.
Oh man. So mental toughness is one of the biggest things that I know pretty much every coach preaches to the players, and also one of the biggest factors in the players' game is the mental toughness. So I know that a lot of coaches wish their players would be mentally tougher, and they struggle with teaching them and understanding, what mental toughness is to apply it to the game. So to help you guys out, I wrote a whole ebook breaking down what mental toughness is, different factors that make up what mental toughness is, and different ways that you can apply it to your life and your game, because it's a good blend of the player and the person, of how both sides of you can grow in your mental toughness. So I broke it down in the ebook, the Mental Toughness Playbook. The whole ebook is about 50 pages, a little less than 50 pages, easy to read, a simple breakdown of what mental toughness is, different factors and different areas in it that impact your mental toughness, and how you can grow and develop in there. So if you're interested in it, send a description below. So go ahead and look into hit that link and invest into yourself by investing into your mindset and mental toughness. Because I personally believe that your brain and your mind is so much powerful than you give it credit. So invest into your mindset, and then your body will follow afterwards. So the Mental Toughness Playbook, get the ebook below. If you tune into it, thank you. I appreciate it. If not, it's fine. Get back to the rest of the episode. See you later. Well, good part about it is you became a pro after that. You was in
Yeah.
Germany. So what was that first year like, man? Were you nervous? Were you just like, were you just excited? What was that feeling like to be a pro now? And
I was ready. I was ready. I prepared my whole life to get to that point, to be a professional athlete. So I wouldn't say I was nervous. I was really anxious to get out there, and you know, see what it's like. Um, but I was ready. Like my first game, I had 28 and like 12 assists. Like what I'm saying, I prepared my whole life for this moment. So I was trying to make the most of it. Um, but it was an amazing experience. Like I tell everybody that asks me about Germany, like I loved it. I would go back in a second. Um, just the culture out there, just how the people are. Everybody's just so welcoming and just so friendly out there. Obviously, you're gonna run into a couple of people that, like you do everywhere else, there, just not as nice. But other than that, bro, like it was an amazing experience. Everybody in the organization was very professional. Treated me very good over there, and the coach let me be myself. That was my biggest thing. Like he knew what type of player he was getting in me, and from day one he allowed me to be myself, and play free out there on the court, and that's all any player wants when he's out there. Just when the coach has that utmost confidence in you, it's easy to
Mhm.
go out there and hoop.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, like, what was the biggest difference between first? What's the difference between American game versus the Euro game and your game specifically? Like, what happened from Sanford to over there? Did anything
Um,
change?
just the physicality. It's way more physical overseas, and um, I would say it's kind of similar to the college game, but to like the G League NBA game is it's a lot of differences. It's no 3 seconds, so what I'm saying, the paint is packed in NBA and G League is got the 3 seconds, so there's so much more spacing and everything like that. But I would say just a lot of high IQ guys over here. A lot of fundamentally sound guys over here. A lot of skilled guys. But at the end of the day, it's just basketball. Like
Mhm.
you know, college, NBA, overseas, G League, whatever. It's basketball at the end of the day. So it's all similar in its own way.
So I've had the opportunity to interview other guys who've been overseas, and I actually interviewed a trainer who he's in Poland. And he was
Okay.
telling me like the gym conditions over there are not the best. I'll say
Yeah.
that in certain situations. So, what was it like for you? What was your experience like? Just the gym situation and everything.
I would say it depends where you are overseas. Not every place is like that, but I've definitely
Yeah.
been like it was a couple of teams in Germany that the gyms were a little shaky. Like I actually just played a game the other day in Sweden, bro, and like the floors felt like I was playing in my living room. Like it's just no traction or nothing over there. Like it's definitely crazy. But then you have some nice arenas that are like, you really feel like, oh, okay, I'm a professional. Like
Mm.
it's a big behind arena that I'm playing in. Like it's a lot of people at this game. You know what I'm saying? So it depends where you are over here. But some of the gym conditions aren't the best. Some of them are.
Mm. Did you ever have like a crazy fan interaction happen?
Not off the top of my head, I've heard a lot of crazy stories,
Yeah.
but I haven't had like anything like too crazy. Like I've heard about guys getting stuff thrown at them and stuff like that for the game. Or one of my buddies was telling me like they lost the game and somebody followed him to his crib. Like one of the fans followed him to his crib and they were so upset that they lost the game. Like I heard different stories about that, but nothing has happened to me to that extreme. Just like the normal trash talking and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But
It's wild, bro. Cause like we care about basketball over here, but it's
mhm.
like the fans over there, they
Real diehard fans. Like it's
yeah.
crazy.
So it's like I remember hearing somebody talk about it. It was like the intensity that they have for soccer.
Hmm.
Like that's number one, like overseas, like number one across the world, like hands down. But like the intensity that they have there is a little bit higher in basketball because it's a little bit tighter, a little more compact, and it's indoors. So like you feeling
Yeah,
all that energy just packed in on you.
I
And so
went
it's
to
like,
my first soccer game, professional soccer game, last year in Poland, in
mm,
Warsaw. We had a team that played in the Champions League, and talk about like live, sleep, die, like die hard fans. I'm talking about they like it was crazy, bro. Like they got the little flare guns, like they shooting the
yeah,
guns in the crowd. They got the flags waving, like everybody's in sync too. They got their own chants, like everybody's in sync, saying the
mhm.
chants and stuff. Like it's a different level of like fan base over here, bro. It's crazy.
Yeah. One day in my life, I'm gonna go overseas and experience that because that's something that, like that's an experience I just want to sit through.
Yeah,
Because like we care about basketball over here, but it's more of like a passive aggressive type thing. Sometimes we take it for
yeah,
granted. Like I know
yeah,
I
for
do
sure.
personally. So, like besides that, what is like the biggest not basketball as far as on the court, but as far as like the life around it? What's the difference between here and there?
Um, it's a good question. I would just like I want to say it's a big difference. I just think like everybody goes about their own business. Like you wake up, go through your normal routine, go outside. Everybody's walking to work, or it's similar. Um,
Mhm.
in his way, like culture wise. The only thing I would say is really like the language, like I mean the places that I've been, just like the language barrier stuff like that. But other than that, like it's similar culture. Um, that's what I would say.
Mm. All right. So take me from year one to year two. What happened with that?
Year one, uh, had a really good year one, and ended up fracturing my foot towards the end of the year. And we on a
Mm.
roll right now. Like we making a playoff stretch, playoff push. It's probably got like a month left in the season, and uh, in practice, actually fractured my foot and was done for the rest of the year. So we didn't get a chance to play in the playoffs. Fast forward to a couple months after that, did a little rehab and make sure I was healthy and got the chance to play on a really good club, Legia Warsaw in Poland, who played in FIBA Euro Cup, and I think they're playing Champions League this season. A really good club, top notch club, um, and played 4 or 5 games with them. Played solid. I think I was averaging like 15 and 6 assists over there. Um, some stuff didn't work out. Went to another team, um, same league in Poland. Just we were kind of at the bottom of the league, and the coach that actually helped me get over there got fired 2 games in, and
Mm.
they brought in another coach, a Russian coach, and that really opened my eyes up to a lot of stuff in the basketball world on like the business side of it. He came over there, it just wasn't the best situation personally for me, and like I said, I was having those thoughts about giving it up. Should I be a coach? Should I do this and that? Just things I can't even describe the things I was going through over there. But it just wasn't a really good situation. So I got out of there, came back home to the G League, and played 1 game with the Sixers. Got sick, and then told you the story about the Pelicans. End up actually getting picked up by them. 2 games left in the season. Played 1 game, was 100% from the 3 point line.
Mm.
Uh, had 3 points, I think like 2 steals, couple assists, and then we lost in the first round of playoffs to uh, Texas Legend, I think, the Dallas Mavs team. And season was over, year 2 was over, and was right back to working out and trying to prepare for this next job. And it was really tough mentally because the season was over in April. I didn't get signed to November, so I'm working out from April all the way up to this point. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like it's tough because it's like all right, now I'm ready to hoop. I'm working out every day. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. Now I'm ready to play some games, but nobody was calling, so I had to just stick it out, man. Stay patient, which is easier said than done. Because I'm telling you, it's hard, but stayed the course, kept working, made sure my mental was where it needed to be, and now I'm here in year 3,
Mm.
Sweden.
So speak on some of that mental battling that you did. So between, like you said, all the stuff you overcame, like we already touched on,
Mhm.
to then having a foot injury, to then the coaching change. Like, so what do you have something that you do for like a routine or anything? Like, do you meditate? Like, what do you do for like your mental workout to say
As far as like what, like a game day or just like everyday routine.
every day?
Um, I had to I had to figure out what I liked outside of basketball. My life has been basketball 24/7 my whole entire life. And I feel like I never really got the chance to like really get outside my comfort zone and outside the box and see what else, like what other hobbies do I like to do. So I feel like that's just like going through all that stuff. It's like all right, now I'm reading different books, stuff like that. Um, actually doing some meditation and stuff like that. Tapping more in with my religion. Um, watching different podcasts, listening to different podcasts. Just doing the stuff that's keeping me occupied and that's helping me grow at the same time. And I felt like I went through some personal stuff with my family these past couple of months, and um, I feel like it opened my eyes out up to a lot of things, and I'm looking at life from like a different perspective now. Um, you know, reading more, just doing different things outside my comfort zone. Because we never know when it's gonna be our time. So
Mhm.
one thing I try to do now is just live every day to the fullest, man. And um, I would say that's my routine, my everyday routine. I try to read every here and there. Just do something that's positive and productive rather than just being on my phone all day and on Instagram or whatever. Do something that's more productive. As far as like my game day routine now, I wake up, I write out my notes, how I want to approach the game and stuff like that. I read for a couple hours. Um, make sure I get some good food, and I watch film before it's time to go to the gym. Usually take like a little 45-minute hour nap, and then head to the gym. But and that's something that I really try to. I, I feel like now my life is like just more organized and more routine now. It's previously in the past, it was just like I'm just going with the flow. You know what I'm saying? So I'm on a routine. I'm on a schedule. So when I wake up, it's like, all right, I'm gonna knock this out, and I had goals set out for me each day, different goals that I want to achieve. So I feel like that's just helped me out, just writing things out and reading for sure help my mental.
So with dang, I forgot that fast. It was a good question too. Dang, I don't know. It'll come back later. So I'm gonna pivot from there. Um, so well, like what books are you reading? What podcasts do you listen to and stuff? Because I'm always on
um,
earth for that.
yeah, one book I'm reading now is Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Really, really good book. I read 12 Rules for Life. Um, and I have to finish. I started reading. I didn't finish it yet. It's a book called Make Your Bed, by like a military guy who just
I read that. It's pretty
yeah,
good.
really good book, right? So
Yeah.
those are the three I'm reading right now. As far as like podcasts, I watch a lot of like sports podcasts. What's the one called? Can't even
Talking
think
about
of it right now.
the BeBall Jones podcast. That's the one.
Yep, that's at the top of the list for sure. About Jones podcast.
It's pretty good one. I
Obviously,
heard. You know.
it's really, really great one. Anybody
Appreciate
out
it.
there, definitely tune in. um, I watch the Gilly and Wallow. Obviously, them
Oh
being
yeah,
from
yeah,
Philly. Gotta watch the million. What's it called? The $1 million worth of game.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, man, I try to watch a lot of different stuff, just to know, stay occupied.
Remember my question from earlier. So I'm glad you said that you started to tap into other things besides basketball. Cause I really try to tell my players to like be layered. Like I hate the idea of playing B's. Like I hate
Mhm.
that because that's a whole nother topic I get into. But be
Right.
layered and have more things to you because it's like you just said, it kind of keeps your sanity. Because if
Hmm.
everything's basketball 24/7, like your life's gonna fluctuate with basketball. When you have stuff outside of it, it kind of like helps you to detach from it some.
All
So
right.
like, can you is that something that resonates with you? Like, does that speak to you as like, okay, once I started to embrace other things outside of basketball, did it help your game some, or did it like just help your mental? Like, what does that do for you?
I feel like it helped my mental more than my game. Just really like getting to know who I am as a person. Like I feel like everything was just always basketball this, basketball that. Like my focus was just always on basketball 24/7. Never really got the chance to like I said earlier, figure out what else I like what other hobbies I like besides playing basketball. So once I did that, kind of just like figure out who I was and the different things that I like to do and um, being comfortable in my own skin and thinking outside the box and doing things outside the box and just getting out of my comfort zone, things like that. So that's what I would say.
So throughout this whole process of learning about yourself and being more self-aware, what would you say the biggest thing that you learned about yourself or that you kind of like discovered about yourself as being?
Another good question.
Hey man, that's what I do.
I would say I think I have a good heart, and
Mm,
I'm genuine. Um, I don't really like being around like fake people, or I'm not really a fake type of guy. I'm very real and very authentic. Um, so just I would say one thing I had to work on was not being accessible to everybody, because not everybody deserves, what I'm saying, to be around you. And right now, I don't want to be around anything that's not positive and not going to help my mental health and not going to help me elevate in my life. So if it's anything negative, I don't want to be around it. So that's one thing, because I'm a people person. Like, I like being around people. I like, what I'm saying, talking to different people and stuff like that. So I felt like I was talking and being around the wrong people, and you know I had to just figure out who I wanted around me, and keep those good people around me.
mm. So for how can I ask this? So like with you discovering yourself and becoming more self-aware, what were some of the things you did to help you kind of realize who you are? So like, okay, for example, I kind of went through a similar situation where I was struggling with stuff in life, and like mentally I wasn't in the right space.
Hmm.
So like literally just one day I drove out to this park somewhere, and I just took a walk. Like I left my phone in the car and just walked, like just me by myself. And I was just thinking through stuff, like situations that happened that played out, and the issue that I had that was going on. And like throughout that, like you said, realized I had a good heart. I realized that, I give a lot. But at the
Hmm.
same time, like you said, I had to be careful of who I give to, and just a lot of stuff I was realizing. So like throughout that process, through just that walk, that one day by itself, like damn near changed my life. Like almost changed my life, bro. So like, what is something that you did or that you're doing to like go from lack of awareness to being more self-aware?
I just really started being around the ones that really have my best interest and the ones that really love me, which is my mom, my family, my tight circle. I stopped hanging around the I wouldn't necessarily say they were bad people, but the people that weren't basically helping me elevate in life. I started being around them, and I started being more in the moment, especially going through the personal stuff that I just went through, this past couple of months. You know, my mom was sick. That really opened my eyes up a lot. It's just like, what am I going to do without my mom? I never really, thought about that. Not saying that I took her for granted or anything like that, or take her for granted, but it was like I never really thought like, what would I do if my mom wasn't here? So I feel like just going through that, started spending more time with my family, um, and like I said, my tight circle that I have, because everybody claims that you're a friend, but they're not really your friend. Like, let's keep it real. Um,
Hmm.
I have probably 5 or 6 true friends, that I know for a fact that have my back no matter what. So just spending more time with them, and being in the moment. Think about the future, but don't overthink about it, and don't really dwell on the past. Use like all my past, like situations that I went through, and I basically just learned from them, and it's like, okay, I'm not gonna, like I said earlier, I'm change the way that I live. Um, but I would say like the biggest thing that helped me was just being around my close family and friends, man. Just being present.
Mm. You saying being a present a lot, like is that coming from your meditation, or is just like a mental note to self to like be in a current moment?
All everything, bro. Meditation, just me reading books and stuff like that, and just having these different conversations, um, with my mom, and people like that. But I think sometimes we think too far ahead sometimes, and like tomorrow's not promised, and you can't go back in the past. So you might as well just, what I'm saying, be in the moment and live every day to the fullest.
Mm. So what does your meditation look like? Because I know some people get too caught up on specific ways. So it's like, what is your meditation like for you?
I'd say I like doing yoga. So I'll go on like YouTube and find some like meditation, like music or something like that, and just be still for a little bit. Just be in my thoughts, and just be free for a little bit, and then I'll start tapping into the yoga aspect of everything. And even just like when I go to sleep, I'm like putting different like sounds on meditation noise and stuff like that. Like what I'm saying, I'm starting to tap into stuff like that. But yeah, man, just being still, bro, and just being in my own presence.
Mm,
Like what I'm saying. That's what I started doing.
mm. Have you heard of brown noise?
What's that?
So it's similar to like it's a certain frequency of noise that supposed to help you calm down and like get you in a certain state. I can't remember exactly what it does exactly, but it's similar to white noise, but it's a different frequency and different tuning. So I just started
Okay.
using that like literally a couple of days ago. So
Okay.
uh, check it out and see like
Yeah.
it's different. I don't know. I like that one a little bit more.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
you
I
try
tap
it
into
out.
that for sure.
Yeah, man. So I think that's about it, man. So anything else you want to get off your chest before we get out of here?
No, man, I just appreciate you having me. This was fun, man. I never really talk about these things, so I appreciate you giving me the platform, and the conversation that we had was great, man. So appreciate the time for sure.
Well, nah, man. It's like I say this every time, but I never take it lightly when somebody comes onto the podcast because it's something that I'm building and I'm growing, and like for somebody to be like, I like what you're doing, bro, and I want to be a part of it too. Like that
Hmm.
means a lot to me, man. So I definitely appreciate you coming on here.
No doubt.
Um, Before we get out of here, I got my two last questions. I try to ask every guest.
Okay.
So, number one, man, you talked about your circle a lot. So,
Hmm.
who is somebody that you can, give your flowers to and shout them out right here to like, uh, publicly, like, yo, behind the scenes, you my homie, you my dog. Like, I appreciate you, but now I can publicly say, I love you, man. You did a lot for me. So, who's somebody that you wish you could give your flowers to, and they a little underrated, but here they get to be, showing some love to.
I got it. I didn't mention today. His name is Lewis Leonard. He's a basketball trainer, former player, but basketball trainer in the city of Philly. Um, excuse me, does a lot for the community, does a lot for a lot of the basketball players that come up in the city, and doesn't ask for anything, man. I think nowadays a lot of these trainers are like, asking for money, or just asking for different things, and he does stuff out of love, bro, and really genuine soul, and I want to give him his flowers because he's somebody that's helped me tremendously in my life, not even just with basketball, just the conversation that we have, just about life, but also on the basketball court as well. When I went back to Philly this summer, I was working out with him, and consistently every day he's in there every day with me, and helping me improve my game. And so that's somebody I want to give some flowers to, Lewis Leonard.
Mm. I respect that, man, because like you said, there's a lot of trainers who. No, I ain't gonna say that, bro, because I am a trainer. It might sound like I'm hating or something, but
You know how it is though, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? He do a lot of a
yeah,
lot of stuff for free, bro. He don't ask for anything. Like, at
yeah,
all, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? So he's taking time out of his day to, you know what I'm saying? He's got other guys who need to train. He got a family at home. Like, you know what I'm saying? He took time out of his day to help me get better. So I want to give him his flowers.
I respect that, bro. So, um, so yeah, we closing, winding down here. If you haven't, I need you guys to subscribe real quick. So go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube. If you're watching on Spotify, listen on Spotify, Apple, Google, wherever you listen, go ahead and, press that follow button. And if you're on YouTube, comment and tell Shark how dope this interview was and how much you appreciate him opening up, telling his story, being vulnerable with you guys, and giving you a couple of little gems and some game too. Um, oh, I'm not pressing the buttons, but if you follow me on social media at BeBall Jones, it's anywhere, everywhere, it's the same thing. And of course, follow the special guest right here himself,
Well, man,
J
appreciate you, bro.
Sharkey _3 on Instagram, man. And of course, once again, subscribe. Like this what you gotta do.
Make sure y'all
That helps me
subscribe,
out to
man.
help you guys. Listen
Make
to the
sure you
man, bro. He
subscribe.
gave y'all some game. He gave y'all some gems. It's the last little gem he's giving you guys is to subscribe. Like, you got to,
Sure.
man. Like, you didn't
Sure.
sit through this whole almost hour and a half interview you gotta listen to the last thing this man said. You feel me? So, yeah, man. So before we get out of here, man, I want you to end us on a real good note, man. You gave a lot of game already, but what is like the one thing that you feel like you learn from basketball, or we've all had that coach or like you said, a trainer or somebody else that just kind of like give us that nugget on the side. It's just like it might not have anything to do with basketball, but it just blew your mind or whatever. So like, what's the one thing that you learned about yourself, about the game or whatever, that you can apply to your life now? So what's that one little nugget of gem that you could just share?
I would say, like I said earlier, just being in the moment more often, and just being present in your loved one's life and in your life. Like, don't always think too far ahead in the future, and don't always dwell on the past, man. Just be in the moment and understand that in life is going to be adversity. Not every day is going to be great, but I promise you, if you push through and really keep working through it, pushing through it, like, things will get better. So that's just something I learned just from going through everything that I went through. So keep working, man. And, what's meant to be will be.
Well, that's a good way to end this episode, man. So appreciate you, Shark, for hopping on. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Hop on next week for another great episode. It might be an interview. It might be me and my other co-host hopping on, giving you guys some game or debate, whatever. I don't really know. We'll figure it out. You'll know when I know, because I don't know right now. So whatever, man. But appreciate you guys for listening. We out.